I just want to make sure I'm going live real quick. Okay. It says the connection's excellent. Great. So I want to talk about my issues with the new updates. Because it's honestly way too confusing for my liking. Just, I'm a guy of simple needs, and I like things simple, okay? The simpler, the better when it comes to building. I like confusing freight yards. I like running my industries like they're the real damn thing. But when it comes to building, I like everything laid out in a nice, simple menu. I'm used to the G key doing everything. So if I hit G, okay. Okay, so I've got so this is the rails. I've got facilities. I've got industries. I've got props. There's something missing here. Destruction. But I want to show off another big gripe I have. I can't fly. So I have to choose the fly option. Oh, look at that. I found a bug. I'm going to come out here just a little bit. But if I want to do anything like this, I have to do the fly first. And then I have to pick the track that I want to build with. I'm going to pick the only decent piece of, you know... The only the only decent switch in the game right now. And yes, I am going to throw as much shade as I can at any and everybody who says that the three-way sucks. The two-ways are the worst. They're the biggest offenders. They draw more trolls than they do any other fucking good player. I prefer the three-ways anyway. Just because the three-ways actually are one of the safest switches in the game. But let's say I want to destroy this stuff. I'm also building this kind of representative of one of the North Pacific Coast's yards. Or one of the North Pacific Coast depots. Wait, that's the turntable icon? Okay, but now let's say I want to destroy one of this. G. Wait, where, where's the destruction? It's not here. I guess I just have to leave everything as it is. I mean, the tutorials are no fucking help. Middle mouse, what is that? It says locomotives, so T. Rails. Oh, there we go. Why? Why? Just, I found nothing neat about this. The update's more confusing than I get more confused than I should. The update, this has nothing positive going for it. Also, I want to show off this. Where is the... Where's the track link? Like, what is going on? Huh, I can't find the link, and anytime I do find it... Okay. So I have to stand at a very specific spot. There's no, like... So the track link icon doesn't actually show me the track linking to here. You just have to blindly run around to guess where everything is. Like, okay, that's about as helpful. That's literally about as helpful as trying to tell me the Titanic hit an iceberg and that's why it sank. I feel like this whole thing just... I don't get it. Like, how is this good? Honestly, if they just left it alone, I think that the game would be better. These switches I already despise. I think that they're the worst switches possible. These guys invite the trolls because you just have to run through the bastard. You don't have to set it. You don't have to look for a train coming the other way. Nothing. You just run through it. That's it. That's all there is to it. There's no need to check. There's no... incentive to play with safety. Oh yeah, I forgot the bug. Like, I think the game was better back in the old days. All the new stuff, it's just no. Like, why? There's nothing here that I like. The reason why I say that the older menus were easier and everything was easier to navigate and a lot more fun, it's because the game wasn't essentially a magnet for trolls back then. Leave that to Century of Steam. You wanna. Here's the thing, too. A lot of people I know who are on the spectrum, and if you want to know what I'm talking about having autism or Asperger's or something like that. A lot of people that are on that spectrum can get overwhelmed very quickly. And if you're like, well, why do you know so much about it? It's because I myself am on the damn spectrum, you bastards. And all of this just, it's so awkward, so confused. And here's the thing, I'm having trouble with it. And if I'm gonna have trouble with it, the other player bases, the other players who are on the spectrum, they're gonna have as much trouble as, I am. When everything was laid out nicely, neatly, and all together, there was no problem. You know why there was no problem? Well, allow me to bestow a little knowledge. The reason there was no trouble is that everything was easier to find. Everything was easily laid out. Other people may have had trouble with the menu, but for me and my current situation, it was God's gift to me. It was easiest to understand the menu. I've talked to many other people on the spectrum, and they've said they've had more trouble with this new menu than, the other players have had. That's not a good thing. If people can get confused really, really quickly about, something like this, ooh, what makes you think that the updates are that good to begin with? And I know, like, some jack off from Century of Steam is watching and hoping to convert me over. Get bent, you little cunt. Your game's even worse of an autistic person's nightmare. I hate when I have to do all this stuff just to change something over. I remembered when it was less work. And that's the thing that's killing me. It's essentially more work to do the same thing. Also, really? I remember when that would say Aurora Falls and that had the number 5. So it just. Honestly, if the game was a little. If they were a little less. Let's listen to the community and more let's think about what makes the game practical, things would be nicer. I guarantee you. Are there things in this game that I hate? Yes. And with December 5th right around the corner, I would love to see possibly a reversion of something. Or maybe have this go back to the way it once was? The menu, the whole thing just. It reeks of, let's please the squeakiest, wheels. Or, as I'm gonna say, let's grease these wheels so that way we can get, we can make them happier. The problem becomes, now what you've done essentially is you've only catered to essentially one specific type of player. And honestly, we're not Sony. We're not Studio 346. Yes, I will continue to throw shade. Because why not? I'm a jerk. Throwing a little shade never hurt. Unless you're Studio 346, and then in which case your feelings aren't valid. I would expect this level of confusion from them, not from... Railroads Online. And here's the thing, like, I picked up on this easily because I spent my time trying to hunt this stuff. Let's see if this actually is gonna screw up. Of course it does. When we had everything the way it... No, I keep saying... But the way things were worked. And that's true. The way things were, they did work. And you want to know what you do with things that actually worked? And this is true. If something works, leave it the hell alone. And you want to know why I say that? Because what happens when you start tinkering with things too much? Oh, I also hate that when you lay a piece of track down, how it snaps it, how you snap to the ground quickly. Bridge. wish everything was just, like I said, back in the drop-down menu for one reason. When it was in the drop-down menu, I could find it easily. Like, oh, where is... Oh, there it is. Whereas now, it's more like... Which way is everything going? Oh, and I'm building a test layout for the new engines that are coming. And like I said, I'm taking to this rather easily because, you know, I'm finding everything. I know what I'm trying to look for. But when you have somebody who doesn't, this is where I really see a lot of game devs cook themselves. Nintendo's done it. I've seen Konami do it. I have seen just about any and every dev you can think of screw themselves with something, and then they realize, oh crap, we screwed up. And some will course correct, while others, the idea of course correction is basically pulling an IHH. I haven't had trouble with the locomotive UI. That's actually been the easiest to understand in the new updates. But all this separating things out so you don't know where everything is, that's a real winner move. You're winning some Nobel Peace Prizes, alright? Pieces of our sanity. Players want to be able to find things quickly and easily. When you have autistic players, or players with Asperger's, or some form of autism, enjoying your game, and you suddenly start to make things more complicated, you essentially shut them out of the game. No. Bad move. Real bad move. If you want to make a bad move, go ahead. But please, for the love of God, think before you make a bad move. Then maybe you won't make it, and maybe you won't be known as the devs that made a bad move. You'll be known as the devs that actually thought about their player base. Oh. Ideas to help you guys a little bit, maybe, is if you're gonna give us something like tunnels or piers or whatever, um, try having all the track embedded. Then that way it's easier to do everything. Like I said, the reason why I built this is that I wanted to build a little test track that would allow me to test out the new engines. And in fact, I'm actually going to get rid of something. I want to check something. Big turntable. Is it in facilities? Engine sheds. There we go. Okay. No, not gonna waste time with that. Now, let's talk about the one other issue I have is the buy menu. Okay, so this is our buy menu. Okay, when you have to double click on something or triple click. I also do not like that Steam just shiz up and obscures the locomotive as you're trying to look at it. It's supposed to be a real clever thing. I think it's kind of a pain in the ass. Mm. Which, okay, and then this is our customization menu. The paint loops, nice touch. They're supposed to be adding in like however many you want to buy of each of these engines. The camera is fixed as you rotate, which I like and I don't like. Oh, you can't do the walk up to actually examine everything, which was nicer. Also, this, unless people know what we're looking at, like, okay, the Class 70 is the Class 70. We know what the Class 70 is. Also, if you guys are gonna go all the way with this stuff, what I would really recommend you do is, instead of having everything laid out like this, why not do something a little different? Do something like, you get to tier 2 and there's just nothing there. You click on it and you get like a little note or something. You need to unlock this tier. Grind 6 log trains. Something like that. And then also, instead of everything being in one thing and, okay, trying to remember which cars carry which, make it so you can click on the cargo that they carry. And then it'll categorize everything by the cargo. I need cars that are going to carry both cordwood and straw bales, okay? I know, like, this guy. You carry straw bale. This carries nothing like that. These cars could all... this one carries that. But, like, this guy, and this guy could all carry those. That carries crude oil. Cars that carry, like, single cargo. This could be in a category all their own. Single cargo wagons. Or single cargo cars. There's the flat car. Also, I think I screwed something up. Do I have a way to return the train to... Oh. Okay, there is no returning loop. Or no run-round loop. So I can't bring the cars back. Oh, that's not good. But everything here, it's way too confusing, especially for someone who, like I said, is on the spectrum. Now, is everybody on the spectrum gonna be confused by this? No, but... take it from somebody like me who is on the spectrum. I find this absolutely confusing. The older, more plain menu was nicer. I think it worked a lot better too. But that's just my thoughts. I mean, what do I know? Nothing much. I'm gonna just call it there. Guys, enjoy. Bye.